KCAU 9 News starts with your forecast first.
Thanks for spending a part of your Friday night with us. We've been tracking some thin lines of showers, a few thunderstorms as well. You can see that most of that has now ventured off to the east, but we do still have one pocket of light rain that is happening near Sioux City, just northwest. That did produce a few rainbows this evening. This photo comes to us from Gail Wheatley near Coleridge, Nebraska. And it was a beautiful scene out there with some of those isolated showers traveling through. Here's a check of the forecast overnight. An isolated shower or two at midnight tonight with a temperature of 50. Clearing out the skies tomorrow morning with the temperature falling into the 40s. And then it looks to be a bright sunny day with highs tomorrow afternoon in the 70s. We'll have your 9 on 9 forecast before the first commercial break. KCAU 9 News at 10 starts right now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 10.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night. I'm Tim Seaman.
And I'm Bridget Bennett. African swine fever is spreading through eastern countries, and now pork producers here in Siouxland are taking notice.
KCAU 9 reporter Marina Bach spoke with a local pork producer today. She shares his concerns in our top story at 10.
Iowa is the leading pork-producing state in the U.S. Experts say that's why it's important that pig farmers are cautious about who they allow around their animals.
In Iowa alone, the pork industry accounts for over $32 billion of annual economic development for the state of Iowa.
Pork producers like Bill Tinninger has to make sure that anyone coming into contact with his pigs are wearing protective gear. He doesn't want anyone spreading African swine fever to his animals.
We've stepped up a lot more biosecurity now. I've even noticed pigs entering the country from our northern borders. Security is tighter.
When a producer brings pigs in, if they buy pigs from outside the area, they need to be able to track where those pigs came from. Do they have a proper health paper? Are all of those I's dotted and T's crossed?
The swine fever has not yet entered into the U.S., but Iowa pork producers are trying to stay ahead of the highly contagious disease so that it doesn't make its way to the Midwest.
Nose-to-nose contact or contact through infected animals that have their body fluid and through their manure.
Tinninger says meat from an infected pig is safe to eat. He says that's because the swine virus only affects pigs and not people. In Lamar's, Marina Bach, KCAU 9 News.
And the fear of the spread of that disease caused this year's World Pork Expo to be canceled in Des Moines. Hog farmers told KCAU today that they're worried about the Iowa State Fair as well, that the fair could take similar measures and ban all pork competitions at this year's state fair. Meanwhile, at the state capitol in Des Moines, the governor today signing a bill that would prohibit Medicaid funds for sex reassignment surgeries. That bill provides funding for the Department of Health and Human Services. Republican lawmakers added the prohibition on the last day of the legislative session. They said that it was in response to a recent Iowa Supreme Court ruling that Medicaid could not deny two transgender women coverage for their sex reassignment surgeries. The bill is also drawing criticism for a section that withdraws grants for sex education classes from organizations that also provide abortions. Planned Parenthood is one of the largest providers of sex education in Iowa, and officials say that this will negatively impact Iowan supporters of the bill. They're also saying that the bill does not target all sex education programs, but organizations that provide abortions are not allowed access to any government funding.
Well, people in Yankton are concerned about a registered sex offender moving just a block away from an elementary school. Kenneth Stark was just released from prison Monday after being in and out of jail since 1997. Now, he's been accused of crimes in at least 5 states and several South Dakota cities. According to South Dakota law, sex offenders need to live at least 500 feet away from schools and parks. Stark's house is just over 520 feet away. And while it may be legal, parents are still concerned.
Was super freaked out after what I've read about him, and everything like that. And yeah, just as a mother, super scared, super angry and upset that they are allowing him to be living that close to a school or even in this area with all the offenses.
The Yankton School District put an alert on its website to let parents know Stark moved in near the school. The Yankton superintendent says their student safety is their highest priority, and if Stark enters school property, he will be arrested.
As Siouxlanders start to make plans for the Memorial Day weekend, road crews are working hard to make sure more of I-29 is finished after flooding so travelers are able to use that stretch. Many parts of the interstate suffered, of course, major damage during March flooding. However, officials are hopeful that they will have those stretches of road open before the big holiday weekend. That includes one stretch from Sioux City all the way to Kansas City.
Well, students at Lamar's Community High School are using a school project to help feed their classmates. KCAU-9's Rebecca Pryor shows us how the school is giving kids a unique hands-on learning experience that will also prepare them for a future in agriculture.
Plenty of schools have gardens, but the one at Lamar's Community High School is a little different.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
Using the latest in innovative ag technology, students are able to grow vegetables year-round and indoors.
Using the hydroponic system, we're growing a diverse array of vegetables and produce and herbs, all that are grown in a water-based substance instead of soil.
I learned a lot. At first, I didn't even know that this was really a thing, so I've been happy to see it grow.
And as the plants grow, so does the students' understanding of what the future of agriculture could look like.
As we look towards trying to continue providing for a growing population, adding in more sustainable practices is really important.
Going all the way through the farm-to-fork process, the produce is then harvested and served in the school salad bar.
It's pretty interesting because I look at the people that are eating salads and I'm like, I helped grow that, and that feels pretty good.
A unique learning experience outside of the classroom that lets students get their hands dirty.
You know, you don't really get much experience at school besides learning, and this kind of helps pull it away. So the hands-on definitely helps, you know, expose you a little bit more.
We can talk in the classroom, we could go through PowerPoints, but having the opportunity to get them out here, growing the vegetables themselves, growing the herbs themselves, getting their hands dirty, harvesting, they get to see the entire process, and it makes them way more excited about the future of agriculture.
Reporting in Lamar's, Rebecca Pryor, KCAU-9 News.
Some laughs for a good cause tonight. It was opening night at the Lamb Theater comedy production Boeing Boeing, and tonight the audience, as I say, got more than just laughs out of the show. Tonight's 7:30 show, a benefit performance for Support Siouxland Soldiers. 100% of the proceeds from tonight's ticket sales going to the nonprofit organization that serves hundreds of Siouxland veterans and military families.
It's just a way to give back to the community. It's a way for us to recognize that there are a lot of other not-for-profit organizations out there doing tremendous, tremendous work, and to work with them. Who knows what future projects we might work out together.
Tonight's show is the only benefit performance on the schedule, but Boeing Boeing will be showing at Lamb Theater through May the 19th. Some Sioux City students got their own art exhibit in the Ho-Chunk Center.
Yeah, more than 1,000 students will have their art on display now through Sunday. They are all middle school through high school students in the Sioux City Community School District.
Teachers tell us it's a big honor for these students to have their art out in a public exhibit.
It is an amazing sight to see the kids get off the elevator with their families. They're running to find their school. They're pointing out their artwork and just the pride that they have, showing their parents the number of pictures that are taken. What we see on social media coming out of this weekend and advocacy for the arts is just incredible.
That exhibit also features a fashion show with designs by kids and models from the Career Academy.
Some pretty talented students there.
It's like a pretty exciting night for the youngsters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love as the weather gets nicer, Scott, more people, more events. People just want to get out and go do something.
Right, you just want to get outside. I mean, we had sunshine most of the day today. We did have some kind of threatening looking skies earlier this evening, but didn't really produce a lot of showers here in Sioux City. Here's the view outside now from our Ho-Chunk Center sky cam in downtown Sioux City, where we do have a fairly pleasant night. Just a couple of ongoing light rain showers happening now. As we check the conditions at the Sioux Gateway Airport, the temperature now is near 60 degrees, so we haven't cooled off too much. The wind is still blowing through from the south at 9 miles per hour. One of the reasons that we haven't seen a whole lot of rain come to the surface here in Sioux City is that relative humidity is fairly low at 62%, so some of the raindrops are being swallowed up before they're able to reach the ground. Temperatures now 53 degrees in Yankton, South Dakota, 49 toward O'Neill. The temperature now at 53 in Norfolk and Albion and 58 in Sioux City, currently one of the warmer spots on the map. Meanwhile, to the east of Interstate 29, you can find in western Iowa, we have temperatures ranging from the upper 40s to the middle 50s. Wind speeds today were fairly strong at times from the south, between about 10 and 20 miles per hour. Those have since eased off some. Currently at 9 in Sioux City, 7 Tacoma, and 14 mile per hour south-southeast winds in Wayne. We did have some spotty showers and a few rumbles of thunder happen today. That did drop about 1/4 of an inch of precipitation in Wayne, 0.05 of an inch in Lamar's, 0.18 of an inch in Yankton. Officially nothing in Sioux City on the north side of town. We did have a little bit of light rain occur, just enough to wet the pavement, basically. As we look at the satellite and radar picture now, you can see that all of these showers and thunderstorms have banded together, passing through parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin, down toward Iowa and Nebraska. We do still have a couple of light ongoing rain showers now, but it does look like those will continue to drift off to the southeast over the next hour or two, and then we should have dry conditions. Nice sunny skies for tomorrow. High temperatures will also get a boost moving into the mid-70s tomorrow afternoon. As we get into tomorrow evening, you can find that there will be a couple of blips on the radar. The possibility of some showers and thunderstorms making a return to the forecast late tomorrow night and then going through the morning hours of Sunday primarily. Then it looks like by the afternoon this will start to slip off to the southeast. Some of these thunderstorms that you see oriented down near Interstate 80 and Omaha could become severe here as we move into Sunday evening. And the National Weather Service does have a marginal risk extended as far north as about Sioux City. You can see that inside of that darker shade of green on your screen. Again, this is one of the least intense of the risks put out by the National Weather Service, but something to watch for here on Sunday. 1 or 2 of these storms could become amped up enough to produce some 1-inch sized hail or 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So something to watch for here later in the weekend. Tonight, a low temperature of 44 degrees as those showers continue to dwindle. We'll have clearing skies and seasonal weather. Tomorrow, headed for a high of 76. It'll be a nice spring day, and we'll have sunshine through a majority of the day. Winds from the west-southwest will blow through at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Here's the upcoming 9-on-9 forecast. Late tomorrow night, we will have the generation of some showers and storms. Those look to carry over into the morning hours primarily of Sunday, and we'll also trim back the temperature to about 70 degrees on Sunday afternoon. Breezy on Monday with some more rain and a high of 67, and it looks like we'll lead into a cooler and wetter pattern next week with rain chances alive on Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday, pretty cool out there with a high temperature only in the mid-50s. Moving ahead toward next weekend, you can find that we will make our way back into the 60s and eventually even 70s.
Well, at least the cool down is brief. And we get back to those nice warm weekends. That's what everybody wants right now.
Right. Looking forward to those 70s tomorrow. That should be nice.
All right. Thanks a lot, Scott. As the Quad Cities continues to experience the worst flooding that it's seen in decades, Governor Kim Reynolds is checking out the devastation firsthand. We'll share that story coming up.
But first, continued fallout from the Attorney General's testimony, how President Trump is now getting involved. That's up next.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Tim Seaman, Richard Bennett, Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson, and sports anchor Jacob Russo. This is KCAU 9 News at 10.
Join us for a full recap of Bernie Sanders' visit to Sioux City Monday on Good Day Siouxland.
And thunderstorms make their way starting Monday into Tuesday.
Good Day Siouxland starting at 5 a.m.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco de Mayo.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo with 5 beef soft shell tacos for just $5.55. Only the day at Taco John's.
Fairway is your way for amazing savings. This week, 80% lean ground beef is just $1.99 a pound with your coupon. Tradewinds tea is just $1.99. Stock up on these Pepsi or Mountain Dew products, only $5.99. Lay's potato chips, Fritos, or Cheetos are just $1.88. Fairway, more savings, more quality, more service.
Whether you're gaming, blogging, or streaming. Cable One high-speed internet lets you download faster, reach further, and dream bigger. Get up to 100 megs for only $45 a month for 6 months and add unlimited data for one fixed price. Call 855-808-2737 for this limited time offer. Cable One, high-speed internet comes home.
Since 1972, Plains Area Mental Health Center has been opening its doors to the communities of Northwest Iowa. We offer caring, experienced outpatient counseling services, medication management, and support to help our clients live full, productive lives. Whether you suffer from trauma, depression, anxiety, or any number of overwhelming challenges, we're here for you. Visit plainsareamentalhealth.org.
From giving your lawn a head start to giving your truck a tune-up, Fleet Farm has amazing prices this week, like Superior Weeding Feed, $14.99. Select Under Armour apparel for the family, 25% off our low fleet price. Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil, 5 quarts, $16.99 after rebates. And premium hanging flower baskets, $14.99. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
The KCAU-9 weather ball high above the Ho-Chunk Center is red as fire. The temperature is going higher. This is KCAU-9 News, Siouxland proud.
Congressional Democrats and President Trump are battling over who should testify before Congress in the aftermath of the Mueller report, with both sides still keeping an eye on the 2020 election. ABC's Lana Zach reports from Washington.
Congressional Democrats have not decided if they plan to hold Attorney General William Barr in contempt, but the top leadership isn't holding back.
As the Attorney General of the United States of America was not telling the truth to the Congress of the United States, that's a crime.
After Barr decided to stand up the House Judiciary Committee, Democrats left open his seat and accused Barr of trying to evade their questions.
The Attorney General apparently is afraid of proper cross-examination.
Committee Chair Jerry Nadler says he'll continue to try and work with the Justice Department and Barr's team to get a new testimony date scheduled and the full Mueller report released to Congress. But he's also pursuing other testimony, including former White House counsel Don McGahn. But President Trump tells Fox he's not going to let that happen.
I don't think I can let him and then tell everybody else you can't, because especially him, because he was a counsel. I would say it's done.
The president also made some predictions about who would be his Democratic challenger.
I'd be very happy if it were Biden.
Happy
Sleepy
why?
Joe. I'd be happy with Bernie. I personally think it's those two.
And said he does not think that Russia will interfere in the 2020 election, despite a recent warning from his own FBI director that Russia is upping its game.
I don't think I've spoken to him about the 2020, but I certainly have told him you can't do what you're doing.
And we've learned that special counsel Robert Mueller's team has been in touch with the House Judiciary Committee about trying to set up a testimony time for him, but nothing's been finalized. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
A cruise ship that was quarantined in St. Lucia for a confirmed case of the measles has finally left that island country. St. Lucia's chief medical officer says lab tests confirm the case. He also says that it's a female crew member that has the illness and has likely exposed others. There are approximately 300 passengers and crew aboard that ship. The doctor aboard has requested 100 doses of the measles vaccine. That boat, Free Winds, is reportedly owned by the Church of Scientology. However, the church did not respond to any requests for comment.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds got a first-hand look at some of the flood damage along the Mississippi River in eastern Iowa today. She toured Davenport, where businesses remain closed and residents are out of their homes. The Mississippi River near Davenport rose to a record level of more than 22 feet just yesterday, and the water is still rising. Reynolds saying the recovery process will be a long one, but federal help could make it easier on those who are suffering.
We're looking at this from a short-term, intermediate, and long-term. So it's to make sure that we collect the information that we need so we can get that turned around into FEMA so we can get this county designated so that can help the individuals, and then just to be as helpful as we can as we begin the recovery process.
After this year's spring season, 61 out of Iowa's 99 counties have all been designated as disaster areas by state or federal officials.
And Governor Reynolds is headed back to Siouxland in the coming days. Buena Vista University announcing today that Reynolds is the 2019 commencement speaker for graduation on the 25th. That school saying that inside of release there that Reynolds' rural Iowa roots will resonate with the students, and her vision for the future will be a great bit of interest to the graduates. Last year, Iowa Secretary of Agriculture and Buena Vista University graduate Mike Negg spoke during graduation ceremonies. Well, Morningside is looking for a GPAC championship in softball, and they're getting very close. We'll have highlights from the tournament trail coming up after the break.
But first, here's a headline you'll see in Saturday's Sioux City Journal. Brett Hayworth talked with several students who decided to graduate early to find out what those advantages are.
KCAU 9's 9-day weather forecast is brought to you in part by Baumgars.
It's time. Okay, let's check our constant contact email results. Oh my goddess.
Constant Contact email marketing. Powerful stuff.
You gorilla tape that? No, why? Gorilla tape, of course.
Gorilla Tape is 3 times stronger for a hold that lasts. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
It's Hy-Vee's biggest cereal sale ever, Thursday through Sunday. Kellogg's cereal, just $1 a box when you buy 5. General Mills cereal, just $1 a box when you buy 5. Or Malto Meal cereal, just $1 a bag when you buy 5. The big cereal sale, only at Hy-Vee.
Join us in Orange City, Iowa for the 79th Annual Orange City Tulip Festival, May 16th, 17th, and 18th. Discover the Dutch and their rich culture. Join thousands of visitors and experience the daily parades, historically accurate Dutch costumes, and a variety of daily shows. View thousands of colorful tulips and catch performances of traditional Dutch song and dance. Learn how wooden shoes are made, and so much more. The Dutch experience awaits you at the Orange City Tulip Festival. For a complete schedule, visit octulipfestival.com.
Get your clubs ready. Register today for Fun on the Greens with the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Siouxland. Join us along with our presenting sponsor, Tyson Foods, for the 2019 RMHC Golf Classic. It's 18 holes of golf, lunch, dinner, prizes, and more. Tee time is 1 p.m. Monday, June 10th at the Sioux City Country Club. To register or to become a sponsor, go to rmhc-siouxland.org or call 712-255-4084. Help the Ronald McDonald House Charities help Siouxland. Register today.
As the owners of Tri-State Sew and Back,
we are proud to be Siouxland's best sewing resource for 25 years.
We love glamorous fabric.
At Tri-State Sew and Back, you'll find only the highest quality sewing machines, like the Pfaff Creative Icon, recipient of the Red Dot Design Award.
When you buy from us, you're buying 40 years of expertise and the best service department in Siouxland.
Come see what makes us special.
Tri-State Sew and Back on Indian Hills Drive in Sioux City.
Designs uniquely yours at Thorpe & Company Jewelers, downtown Sioux City.
It's Hy-Vee's biggest cereal sale ever, Thursday through Sunday. Kellogg's cereal, just $1 a box when you buy 5. General Mills cereal, just $1 a box when you buy 5. Or Malto Meal cereal, just $1 a bag when you buy 5. The big cereal sale, only at Hy-Vee.
Now, KCAU 9 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Jacob Russo. The Morningside softball team had a fantastic day yesterday, setting themselves up for a shot at the GPAC championship. To get to the championship game, though, they'd have to beat Concordia for a second time in 2 days. The Mustangs beat the Bulldogs 9-1 yesterday, and today it's at the first inning. 2 runners on for Rebecca Riley. She grounds one through the infield. The runner is going to come around to score, and the Mustangs take a 1-0 lead. The Stags are on defense now. The runner tries to steal second, but Ashton Whited tosses tosses a laser down there to get the Mustangs out of the inning. Catches are stealing there. And later on, Courtney Joyner slaps one into the outfield. Ashton Whitehead is going to come around to score to put Morningside up by 2. That would be the last run the Mustangs score in this game, but it would be all that they need. They blank the Bulldogs, and they are headed to the GPAC Championship. They win 2-0.
Every 6 a.m. practice, every 5:45 a.m. conditioning, every day we've spent in the weight room, every day we've just got our butts kicked by Coach, man. This is what we've been working for.
We knew it was going to be a big fight, whoever we played. You know, the biggest thing was playing our game, playing aggressively, doing those little things. So again, just being able to pull some things together each inning and then just kind of finishing strong.
Morningside will take on Jamestown at home tomorrow for the GPAC title. Well, speaking of softball, the University of South Dakota Coyotes were in Brookings visiting SDSU. In the first inning, Lauren E. Miguel is going to draw a walk, and that loads the bases for the Coyotes. And Jessica Rogers just cleans those bases right off. A no-doubt home run from the senior. That is a grand slam. It puts the Coyotes up 4-0 in the top of the first. They just put their foot down the rest of the way. Dusty Durham is going to send one over the wall to extend the lead. And then later on, Rogers is going to drive in a few more runs on a screamer to the left. And the left fielder can't catch up to it. The Coyotes demolish their rivals 11-2, the final. Let's move to the MLB. The Cubs are hosting the St. Louis Cardinals. Anthony Rizzo gets this game started off right. A 3-run blast for Rizzo. And that's going to be one ball that you do not want to throw back. And the Cubs go up by 3. Moving to the 7th inning, same score. Javi Baez is going to smack one into the outfield. Chris Bryant is going to come in from second to score. The Cubs add on to their lead as Javi Baez picks up his 25th RBI of the season. And on the mound for the Cubs was Kyle Hendricks. He was having a beautiful game. He gets a man out looking there. He pitched a gem, complete game shutout for Hendricks. The Cubs would win 4-0. Well, with the weather outside a little bit rainy, I'm sure the Sioux City Bandits are glad they play indoor football. But this season hasn't been too great for Sioux City. They're just 1-3 on the year coming into today, but they could turn things around against Wichita. Let's head down to the Tyson to see how this game played out. Forrest threatening to score early, but Jordan Drake, the kicker, is going to send the field goal wide right. We're going to stay scoreless in this one. Then on the other end, the Bandits break through. Dylan Turner finds Fred Bruno in the end zone. PAT was good, and the Bandits go up by 7. But a few minutes later, Wichita responds. Joseph Hubner is going to roll out left and find a wide-open Gary Jolivet for the touchdown. And we are all tied up at the Tyson. Second quarter, 4th and goal for the Bandits. There's a dog pile at the goal line, but the QB crossed the plane on the sneak. Touchdown Bandits. Sioux City would go on to win this game big, 70-30. It's nice to see a lot of, scoring in these types of games. That's one of the best things about indoor football, I think, is that they score so much more than, a normal football game.
You don't have to worry about there not being any action. If you get up to go get a popcorn or something, you're not going to miss the game.
Right, exactly. You're not going to miss that game-breaking field goal because there's such a short field, lots of scoring there.
I might go to games just for the popcorn. That's just me, though. Well, here's a live look outside. Scott's going to be back with a final check of our weekend forecast. Stay with us.
Tonight, from Marvel's Avengers Endgame, Thanos himself, Josh Brolin. Plus Marvel's Cloak and Daggers, Olivia Holt. Music from G-Eazy and the Game of Phones helpline is back.
Can you tell me where I left my keys?
They're in between the cushions on your couch.
Kimmel, tonight on ABC.
This is more. More savings. More service. More focus on fresh, quality produce. Expert butchers who know more. And the most talked about meat in town. We are Fairway. We put everything into meat and grocery. And this is more.
Gourmet truffles, chocolate-covered peanut clusters, rich chocolate fudge. The classics are classic for a reason. Hallmark Candy has all the classics you crave in bulk, and we have a few classics of our own, like Twin Bings and our famous holiday gift baskets. When you want something delicious, reach for a classic.
Stop at Palmer's Old Time Candy Shop. It's a Siouxland classic.
Hey, Frost Monster here.
As you know, there's nothing I like better than getting underground and breaking up concrete. I've had to work extra hard because everyone keeps using Flexboard 25. No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to break it.
When you pour concrete, be sure to lay down Flexboard 25. It keeps heat in the ground and the frost monster out.
Hooey!
Flexboard 25 from Lightform Technologies, the best way to build.
At Coleman Appliance, we take pride in making sure our customers receive great service from their visit to our extensive showroom all the way to the delivery and installation of their new GE appliances.
From modern to traditional, comfortable to contemporary, you'll find all the stylish options, including GE's own premium finishes. The very popular slate, black slate, stainless steel, and black stainless. Make a visit to Coleman Appliance and see what we can do for you.
Coleman Appliance, your GE showcase dealer, 409 West 7th, Sioux City.
Need to fill a position and have a limited budget? Post a job on SiouxCityJobs.com for $99.
At Aloma, our guests are our top priority. Don't believe it?
It's hard to find a business that cares about your needs as a customer versus the overall sale.
It was the first time I felt like I was around family.
The service is always top-notch.
The prices are great, and the staff is so knowledgeable.
I am a lifelong customer.
My kids and wife love that I don't smell of cigarettes anymore. One word sums up my experience with Aloma. Awesome.
At Aloma, if we succeed, our guests succeed. Come find out for yourself. Aloma Vapor Superstores.
In recent weeks, there's been a lot of different stories about water rescues. Most of them are not very happy, but tonight a much better tale to wrap up the week with.
That's right. Take a look at this video from Sioux Falls. Folks at a retirement community had to rescue ducklings after they fell through a grate in the courtyard. A few employees helped the baby ducks get out, and after some coaxing, those little ducklings were reunited with Mama.
A little head dive.
There you go. A little mother duck had made her way to the retirement community for the residents to feed them. It's a great place to live, and she looks like a great mama. But those ducklings, they just get away too quick.
You see that happen often anymore.
Off they go.
Off they go.
Splish, splash.
It's kind of a big leap for the little ones.
It is.
It is.
Creates a wake.
But it is that season. That's a sign of spring, right? Baby ducks and nice weather.
Right. Even though it's felt kind of cool at times, it is starting to warm up some. Tomorrow will be a nice day. We'll see sunshine and a high of 76. A chance of some showers and storms tomorrow night into Sunday. Next week will be cooler with highs in the 50s and 60s and some more rain Wednesday, Thursday.
Well, have a very good weekend. Thanks for spending your week with us.
Yes, good night.